We were discussing Science 1 subject, question answers of the chapter Carbon and Important Element. So, chapter number 13, Carbon and Important Element. My name is Gautam Sir from Ganesh Nagar MPS Secondary School, Kandivali West. So, in the last two lectures of this topic, we had discussed almost all the examples. Today, we are going to discuss or summarize what we learned in this exercise or just repeat the exercise. So, the first question is question number 1. Select the proper options and complete the statement from single, all, double, ionic, carbon, give and take, hydrogen, multiple, share, most, covalent, etc. From these words, we have to select the proper option and fill the blanks given below. In which the first question is a carbon atom forms a blank bond with other atom. In this bond, the two atoms blank electron. Now we have to fill two blanks in this question. Now the best suited is answer given below. A carbon atom forms a covalent bond. So the first blank is filled with the word covalent. A carbon atom forms a covalent bond with other atom. In this bond, the two atoms share electrons. The second one blank is filled by the word share. So covalent and shared are the answers for the two blanks for question number 1. Now explanation. A carbon atom forms a covalent bond with other atom because its outer shell is half full as shown in the figure. In the covalent bond, sharing of electron takes place, for example, CH4. By giving the figure for the CH4, that is methane, the 4 electrons of carbon sharing with the 4 atoms of hydrogen. So ultimately, the hydrogen atoms completing its outermost shell or having 2 electrons in its outermost shell, and carbon is also completing its outermost shell by sharing and gaining 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So this is the formation of covalent bond, and the covalent bond formed by sharing of electrons. Now second, all the carbon atoms in a saturated hydrocarbon blank electron. In question number B, the blank is given where we have asked about all the carbon bonds in a saturated hydrocarbons. Now the answer is all the carbon bonds in saturated hydrocarbon share electrons. Now whatever the bond exhibits between carbon atom and any other atom, the bond form is always due to the sharing of electrons. So the word fills in this blank is share. Explanation. The hydrocarbon having only single bond between carbon atom are called saturated hydrocarbon. Saturated form covalent bond by sharing of electrons. So in hydrocarbon, mostly the whichever the bond form, that is saturated bond or covalent bond, single bond or double bond or triple bond, it's always happen by sharing of the electrons. So the share word fills in the second question. Now question number 3, C. At least one carbon bond is an unsaturated hydrocarbon is blank. At least one bond. What type of at least one bond should be there for unsaturated hydrocarbon? So answer for this is at least one carbon bond in an unsaturated hydrocarbon is double. A single bond hydrocarbon is known as saturated, but double or triple bond double bond or triple bond hydrocarbon compound is known as unsaturated hydrocarbon. So unsaturated hydrocarbons have at least double bond, maximum triple bond. So double is filled in this blank. Explanation. Some hydrocarbons have multiple bond. Some hydrocarbons have multiple bond between two carbon atoms. A multiple bond can be double bond or triple bond. Hydrocarbons having at least one multiple bond are called unsaturated hydrocarbons. For example, ethene. The examples of ethene is given where the three formula structure is given for the example, namely as ethane, ethene, and ethine, where ethane is a saturated because C, the formula structure of the ethane, that is C2H6, the two carbon atoms are joined by the single bond. Hence, this is ethane is an example of saturated hydrocarbons. But move on the another example, ethene, that is C2H4. There is double bond between the two carbon atoms. And another example of ethine, C2H2, there exists a triple bond between two carbon atoms. So ethene and ethine are two examples of unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now question number D. Blank is the essential element in all organic compound. Now which one is the essential element in organic compound? The answer is carbon is the essential element in all the organic compound. The answer is carbon. Explanation. A carbon atom exhibits a characteristic property. It can form a chain of carbon atoms by forming covalent bond with other carbon atoms. Hence, it is the most essential element in the organic compound. This is the characteristics of carbon, that is forms a chain of carbon atoms by forming covalent bond. The formation of covalent bond is characteristic of carbon. So carbon atoms form various compounds because of the covalent bond nature, and due to its essential element in organic compound. Question number E. The element hydrogen is present in blank organic compound. Now, in which organic compound the hydrogen element is present? Most of the organic compounds contain hydrogen. So the answer is the element hydrogen is present in most organic compound. The blank filled with the word most. Explanation. Along with carbon, the element hydrogen is also included in most organic compounds. Since the organic compounds are hydrocarbon, so hydrocarbons, so along with carbon, hydrogen is the most important compound in organic compound. So the figure besides given explains carbon compounds. Two types of carbon compound exist. It is organic and inorganic. The organic carbon compounds obtained from the living things, and inorganic carbon compounds obtained not from the living things. Those organic compounds obtained from the living things are example as sugar, protein, starch, etc. But the inorganic substance obtained not obtained from the living things are carbon dioxide, sodium carbonate, chalk, etc. Question number 2. Answer the following questions. Why are carbon and its compounds used as a fuel? Why we use carbon compounds as a fuel? The answer is carbon and its compounds used as a fuel due to the following reason. First reason, when most of the carbon and its compound is burned in air, it gives a lot of heat, light, and energy. Since it gives the carbon and its compounds gives heat, light, and energy, it is used as a fuel because as a fuel we want heat energy, light energy, and energy. So carbon provides all all of these, that is heat, light, and energy. That's why we use carbon as a fuel and its compound also. Second, they have high calorific value. Thus, on burning in air, they give large amount of heat and energy. Since carbon burns completely, mostly completely it burns, and it have large calorific value. It means Very small substances carbon gives large amount of heat, so it is suitable to use and get energy from it. The third answer is when saturated hydrocarbon having only single bond, is burned in air. When saturated hydrocarbon burn in air, less smoke with clean flame is produced. See the figure besides the image besides given as a flame, it's bluish in color, so it's there is no smoke. So without smoke, the saturated hydrocarbon burns in air, so it's a clean flame with no pollution. So that's why the carbon compounds are mostly used as the fuel. The calorific value is the amount of heat liberated in calories by complete combustion of combustible material with oxygen. Next question. Question number 2b. Answer the following questions. In which compound forms does carbon occur? In what form carbon occur? The answer for it is carbon occurs in crystalline form and non-crystalline form and in hydrocarbon form. So there are various forms in which carbon occur. Now, what is crystalline, non-crystalline? We will see in later on. The first one, carbon has three crystalline forms, allotropes, which are diamond, graphite, and fullerenes. So the three crystalline form of carbon are diamond, graphite, and fullerenes. Also, carbon occur as coal, charcoal, coke, and these are non-crystalline forms of carbon. The two types of hydrocarbon forms in which carbon occur as saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So these are the forms of carbon in which carbon occur. So first one is crystalline form in which diamond, graphite, and fullerenes occur. Another one is non-crystalline form, also known as amorphous form, in which carbon occur as a coal, charcoal, and coke. And another type of hydrocarbons in which carbon occur as a saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Here in the images, I tried to figure out or try to show you what kind of different forms of carbons look like. The fullerenes, the image for the fullerenes is given. Fullerenes is not much familiar as it is new substance. Diamond, the figure of diamond is given as actually diamond is made up of carbon. Then graphite, it looks like as shown in the figure. Then here is also some images of charcoal, coal, and graphite is given. Question number 2C. Answer the following questions. Write the uses of diamond. Now we have to list out the uses of diamond. Diamond is a crystalline form of carbon. Use of diamond are the following. Diamonds are used in making ornament. The jewelry, since the diamond is very shining, reflects light, looks luxurious. That's why the diamond is used in making ornaments. Other use of diamond are used in rock drilling and glass cutting machine. Since diamond is very hard, it is harder than rock and glass. Therefore, they are used for cutting purpose. So diamonds are used in rock drilling and glass cutting. Since diamonds are very sharp, so it's used for the glass cutting purpose. Third one, to carry out eye surgery, diamonds knives are used. The same reason behind the use of diamond as a tool in the surgery because diamond is very sharp and hard. That's why it's used in eye surgery, diamond knives. Then fourth use of diamond is the diamond dust is used for polishing other diamond. So whatever the dust produced while making the diamond is that dust is used for polishing other diamonds. So diamond is used to make window, giving protection from the radiation in space and in artificial satellite. So the satellite revolving around the artificial satellite that's revolved around the Earth is out is over the ozone layer. So the it faces the harmful radiation directly from the sun and other solar system. So to protect from the harmful radiation, the strong radiation from sun directly, the protection is given by layering the surface of the satellite by diamond. So the windows or the surfaces, outer surfaces are made by diamond to protect it from the radiation. So diamonds are and how numerous uses. Just recall, diamond is used in ornament, diamond is used in rock drilling, glass cutting. Diamond knives are also used in eye surgery. Diamond is used for the polish the other diamond, and also it is used to make diamond is also used to make window, giving protection from radiation in space and in artificial satellites. So also it is used in the aeronautics. The next question is explain the difference diamond and graphite. The first one we have to discuss the difference between diamond and graphite. In the diamond, every carbon atom is bonded to four neighboring atoms by covalent bond. So, as the figure shown, see the central atom is bonded to the neighboring four carbon atoms in the structure of carbon. So, in diamond, every carbon atom is bonded to four neighboring atoms by covalent bond. But in graphite, every carbon atom is bonded to three other carbon atoms by covalent bond. Since four carbon atoms are bonded to a single atom in diamond, but in graphite only three carbon atoms is bonded to a central carbon atom. So this is the difference between diamond and graphite. Central atom of diamond is bonded to four other atoms by covalent bond, but in graphite the central atom is bonded to only three carbon atoms by covalent bond around it. The second difference is diamond exists in tetravalent three-dimensional structure, while graphite exists in hexagonal layer structure. So the second difference about this structure, the diamond have tetragonal three-dimensional structure, but graphite have hexagonal layer structure. The third difference you may write as their structure. See the structure is given here. Then fourth difference is diamond has no free electrons moving inside, thus it is a bad conductor of electricity. Since all the four electrons of outermost shell of a carbon is shared by covalent bonds, so no extra electron present, no free electron present in the structure of diamond. Therefore, diamond is bad conductor of electricity because to pass the current through any substance, the free electrons must be present, otherwise current will not pass. So in diamond there is no free electrons, therefore current will not pass through it. Therefore we called diamond as a bad conductor of electricity. But what happened in graphite? Only three carbon atoms are bonded to a central carbon atom in graphite. So the fourth electron is always free because of the four outermost electrons. Among four outermost electrons, three electrons get bonded to the three atoms in graphite structure. Hence, one electron is always free to move within. Therefore, three electrons are actually responsible to carry out the electricity, to carry out the current. Therefore, graphite is good conductor of electricity. Electrons move continuously within the entire layer of graphite, thus it is good conductor of electricity. So this is the big difference between diamond and graphite. Diamond is a bad conductor, but graphite is good conductor of electricity. The next one is Fifth one difference, pure diamond is the hardest natural substance, but graphite is black, soft, brittle, and slippery. Since diamond is very hard, but graphite is not. Graphite is black in color, it is soft, brittle, and slippery. So these are the five differences. The next one is difference between crystalline and non-crystalline forms of carbon. So this is the very important, as most of the theory or most of the structures is based on the crystalline and non-crystalline forms of carbon. The first one is crystalline form. Crystalline form has a definite and regular arrangement of atoms. Crystalline form has a definite and regular arrangement of atoms. So this is the first. But what happens in the non-crystalline form? A non-crystalline form has indefinite and irregular arrangement of atoms. In the figure below, we can clearly see in crystalline form, the arrangement of atoms is regular. Therefore, crystalline form has definite shape. But in non-crystalline form, atoms are randomly arranged. There is no any order or sequence. They are randomly arranged however they want. Therefore, they are not definite or regular in shape. So crystalline has a definite and regular shape. Non-crystalline having indefinite and irregular shape. This is the main difference. If you want to draw their structures, crystalline form, non-crystalline form, you can draw as the regular arrangement. Show the regular arrangement of atoms in crystalline form and irregular arrangement of atoms in non-crystalline form. Other than this, the difference, they have definite geometrical shape. The crystalline form have definite geometrical shape, but non-crystalline, they do not have regular shape. The next step and the next difference is they have sharp melting point, but non-crystalline forms do not have sharp melting point. They have range of temperatures over which they melt. It means if any substance is in the crystalline form, then it may be melt at a only 50 degrees Celsius. But if another substance is having a non-crystalline form, then it may melt. Some part of it may melt at 40 degrees Celsius. Some part may be melt at 60 degrees Celsius. So there is not a sharp one melting point. There are range of melting point. So this is the difference between crystalline and non-crystalline. Crystalline forms of substance melt at a sharp temperature, but non-crystalline forms melt at over a range of temperatures. Then fourth difference among these two is carbon exists in three crystalline forms, which are diamond, graphite, and fullerenes. Carbon exists in three crystalline forms, which are diamond, graphite, and fullerenes. The examples of crystalline forms is given here. And in non-crystalline form, carbon exists in three amorphous forms, which are coal, charcoal, and coke. So in this way, you can write a four difference between the crystalline form and non-crystalline form. First one is their definition. Second one is their structure. Third one is their shape. Fourth one is their melting point. And fifth one is their examples. So in this way, you can differentiate the crystalline and non-crystalline form. Another question is question number 4, right? Scientific reason. Now we have to give here scientific reason. First one is a graphite is a conductor of electricity. The answer, graphite is a good conductor of electricity due to the following reasons. In graphite, carbon atoms are arranged in different layers. Second, in each layer, every carbon atom is linked to three neighboring carbon atoms. Third, thus the fourth electron of each carbon atom is free to move continuously within the entire layer. See the figure besides given shows that the red color spotted dots are actually electrons. These electrons are delocalized free, that is they can move along the layer from one carbon atom to the next. when graphite is connected to a battery, so these free electrons are actually responsible for the conduction of electricity. Because of the presence of these free electrons in different layers, graphite becomes a good conductor of electricity. The second one, graphite is not used in ornament due to the following facts. Obviously, graphite cannot be used as a jewelry ornament because for making ornament, properties like transparency of substance, reflection of light, and hardness should be present. But in graphite, all these properties are absent. It is soft, brittle, black, and slippery in nature, thus, it is not used in making ornament. So, you must know what kind of substance can be used as the ornament. For this purpose, the substance must be transparent, must reflect the light, and should be hard. But graphite cannot obey these all kinds of properties since graphite is black in color. They do not uh, reflect most of its light. They are soft and slippery. That's why, and also it is not hard. So that's why graphite cannot be used as the ornament. Another one is when lime water, calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice is passed through carbon dioxide, that is CO2. The following reaction takes place. CaOH twice plus CO2 gives CaCO3 calcium carbonate. Actually, CaCO3 is calcium carbonate and plus water, lime water calcium carbonate. In this reaction, when lime water comes in contact with gas released in the form of an effervescence, it turns milky. This is a chemical test for carbon dioxide gas. Now, how to detect the carbon dioxide gas, that is CO2? This is the test in which we have to pass the lime water through carbon dioxide or carbon dioxide through the lime water. Lime water turns milky by producing calcium carbonate. So we can confirm here or verify that CO2 is produced. When lime water turns milky, it is confirmed that effervescence is of a carbon dioxide. Next one, biogas is an eco-friendly fuel. First one, why biogas is eco-friendly? Because it is animal dung, dry leaf, wet garbage get decomposed by anaerobic microbes in biogas plant. Biogas is made by these animal dung, dry leaves, and wet garbage. So it is easily available and biodegradable, and it is decomposed by anaerobic microbes. Anaerobic means those microbes which respire in absence of oxygen. So it is called anaerobic microbes. Where the oxygen is not present, these microbes still survive and still respire. So these microbes actually responsible for the decomposition of these animal dung, dry leaves, wet garbage, etc. Second one, this produces biogas. So these microorganisms respire and produce biogas that is called methane gas. Biogas is a very cheap fuel option which is also used for cooking gas in the villages or remote areas where there is not much fuel available, as modern fuel available. Biogas is used since there is the animal dung, dry leaves, and wet garbage are available in most quantity. So there in those areas, biogas can be used as fuel. It is also used for production of electricity. So the large amount of biogas is available. Then we can also use it as the production of electricity also. Biogas contains about 55% to 60% methane, and the rest is carbon dioxide. Then biogas is very good manure and it's convenient to use. Also in the biogas, the byproduct produces is a good manure. Byproduct along with the biogas, byproduct produce is manure and it is convenient to use. It is very good manure. So the following diagram or the following figure shows the cycle for biogas. The plant, the crops, their dry leaves and animal dung collected in one chamber where anaerobic microorganisms digest this food and produce the methane gas or the biogas, which can further taken out and used for the production of electricity, for the cooking purpose, etc. and produces CO2. CO2 again taken by the plants in photosynthesis process produces its food, and similarly these cycles goes on. Question number 5a. Explain the following. Diamond, graphite, and fullerenes are crystalline forms of carbon. Why we call diamond, graphite, and fullerenes are crystalline forms? A diamond, graphite, and fullerenes are the three crystalline forms of carbon. First one, a crystalline forms has a definite and regular geometric pattern. As we saw the structure of crystalline forms in the difference between crystalline and non-crystalline question, that it's have a regular geometric pattern. Second, the structure of all the three crystalline forms has a definite shape, sharp edged and plane surface. Graphite, diamond, fullerenes. Then third, graphite has a hexagonal layer structure. Then fourth, diamond has a tetragonal three-dimensional structure. And fifth, fullerenes exist in the form of buckyballs and bucket tubes. Here at the bottom, figures are given. The first two figures are to understand the structure of crystalline and non-crystalline. You can clearly see here the crystalline structure having a regular arrangement of atoms, but in non-crystalline form it is irregular. Now move towards the structure of graphite, diamond, and fullerenes. The structure of graphite also seems to be having a regular arrangement of atoms. Similarly, diamond is also having a regular arrangement of atoms and Bucky balls, that is Buckminster Fullerenes. Fullerenes is also having a regular arrangement of atoms. So this regular arrangement of these graphite and diamond and fullerenes makes them a crystalline form of carbons. Question number 5. Explain the following. Methane is called marsh gas. Methane gas is also called marsh gas because it is the product of decay in swamps and marshes from organic material underwater, and in the the main process for the production of methane is aerobic digestion. So methane gas is marsh gas because it is produced in muddy places, the pond, besides the river, where the mm, mud and where the um waste decomposes or the plants get decomposed. In those places, the methane gas is produced. That's why methane gas is called marsh gas. So the decay, so on decaying swamps, it produced from organic material underwater, and in the mud, the main process for the production of methane is anaerobic digestion. Since underwater organisms do not get complete oxygen, or the organisms inside a mud do not get complete oxygen this um, in this type of digestion. So microorganisms undergo anaerobic process or anaerobic digestion, in which they used, instead of oxygen, they used other gases or carbon dioxide, whatever available. In the absence of oxygen, they used other gases and produced their food. In the process of these, they released methane instead of carbon dioxide. They release another type of gas called methane. So methane can be used as the fuel. So methane is known as marsh gas because it produced in the muddy like areas. Okay. So these are the figures beside given, the areas where marsh gas can be produced: at the bottom of the lake, at beside the lake, underwater, in muddy areas, etc. The next question is question number 5c. Explain the following. Petrol, diesel, coal are fossil fuels. Why we call petrol, diesel, coal is fossil fuel? Fossil fuel. Petrol, diesel, coal are fossil fuels because they are main source of heat and energy. Second, they release heat, light, and energy when burned in air. They are formed from the decaying living organisms that are present in the earth crust. So they are fuel because the petrol, diesel, coal are fuel because they produce heat, light, and energy. And why are they fossil? Because they form from the decayed plants and animals several years ago in the earth crust. Since there is a large kind of flora and fauna present on the earth in billions of years, millions of years ago, by some process of earth crust or something else, they get dipped inside of the earth crust, they get buried, and because of the high earth pressure and temperature, they change, they converted into different forms and form of petrol, diesel, and coal. Now we digged inside the earth crust and taken it out and used this as the fuel. The figures or the images given beside is helps in understanding the formation of petrol, diesel, and coal. That see the plants get inside and form a swamp. The animals underwater get buried inside the earth crust. Then millions of years ago, the aquatic animal and the plants or the ground animals get buried. So by the process of high pressure and temperature, the buried animals and plant converted into petrol, diesel, and coal, which can be now used as the fuel. Next question is explain the following uses of various allotropes of carbon. First one is uses of various allotropes of carbon. Diamond. It is used in making ornaments, rock drilling, and glass cutting, artificial satellite, etc. Second, graphite. It is used in pencil, paint, polish for making carbon electrode, lubricant, etc. Now, as we know, there are many types of allotropes of carbon present. So one by one, we are listing out its uses. As we already discussed the uses of diamond, it is used in rock drilling, glass cutting, artificial satellite, etc. Then graphite, it used in pencil, paint, polish, carbon electrode, lubricant, etc. Then fullerenes, it is used as an insulator, used as a catalyst in the water purification. So these diamond, graphite, and fullerenes are allotropes of carbon in crystalline form. Now coal is used in thermal power plant, used as a fuel in factories and industries. Coke, it is used as a reducing agent and a domestic fuel also. So these coke and coal are non-crystalline forms of carbon. So these are the some of few found allotropes of carbon listed out and its uses given. Allotropes are those, how to understand what is allotrope? Some elements occur in nature in more than one form. This property of elements is called allotropy. The elements which show this property are called allotropes. So single substance but available in many forms. So this is known as allotropy. Here the beside image, the beside figure classification of carbon is shown in which the carbon is classified into crystalline and amorphous. In crystalline, there are three examples of diamond, graphite, and fullerenes, but in amorphous or non-crystalline form, it is coke, carbon, charcoal, etc. Next question is question number 5E. Explain the following use of CO2, carbon dioxide in fire extinguisher. We use carbon dioxide to stop the fire. Answer CO2 is used in fire extinguisher. First one CO2 is filled under pressure in the fire extinguisher. Second, when we release that pressure, it becomes gaseous and comes out forcefully. Third, the carbon dioxide disappears, displaces the oxygen. Fourth, by removing oxygen, we can put out a fire. Fifth, the reaction taking place as now. How the fire extinguisher work as the actually oxygen is responsible for the burning of any material. So as we displace the oxygen from that area or we discontact the oxygen from those area, we can actually stop the fire. So fire extinguisher do this job. It disconnect the contact of oxygen or displace the oxygen present around this area. Since non-availability of oxygen ultimately leads to the stopping of fire. So, but how it work? How the fire extinguisher work? It contains carbon dioxide in high under high pressure. So, as the pressure released, CO2 come out and cover the area and stop the burning fire. There is some reaction takes place inside the cylinder of fire extinguisher. This is twice NaHCO3, that is sodium bicarbonate. It's mixed with H2SO4 sulfuric acid. Then it releases Na2SO4 plus H2 plus CO2 in gaseous form. This is the important reaction need to be remembered. Next question is question number 5F. Explain the following practical uses of CO2. Now, CO2 is also used in many ways. Among these, the first one is the most important use of CO2 is that plants use CO2 in the presence of photosynthesis. So plants are used in photosynthesis. So sorry, the carbon dioxide is used in the photosynthesis process by plant for making their food. In the presence of sunlight, plant the plants prepare their food with the help of CO2 gas. Second, liquid CO2 is used as a solvent in dry cleaning. So the liquid CO2 is used for the dry cleaning purpose. As you can see, there are many shops in the market that do the dry cleaning. So actually they use liquid CO2. Third one, CO2 or the carbon dioxide is used to make the aerated drinks. The drinks, aerated drink, that what is the cold drink and soft drinks we used to drink in the restaurants or home is actually aerated drinks. It is made by use of CO2 gas. Again, CO2 is used in fire extinguisher to remove the oxygen, as we discussed in the previous question, that how the fire extinguisher uses carbon dioxide to stop the fire. Then in fifth one, solid CO2 is used to keep milk and milky product cool while traveling. So these are the uses of carbon dioxide. In the images, besides, the first one is plant is producing its food in the presence of sunlight. This is the photosynthesis process. Then the aerated drinks that kept inside the uh, ice cubes to keep it cool is actually used of CO2 gas. Then another figure fire extinguisher is stopping the fire used by using carbon dioxide. Then dry ice is kept on the spoon, and in cylinder you can see the aerated drinks uh, how does this aerated drinks form. Next question. Write physical properties of each. Now we have to write the properties of diamond, charcoal, and fullerenes. First one, two physical properties of diamond are diamond is the hardest natural substance found in the earth and do not dissolve in any solvent. It is hardest and do not dissolve. Next property is diamond do not show any change when treated with acid base. This is the second property. It do not react with acid and base. It is hardest and do not dissolve in any solvent. The second one is charcoal. The physical properties of charcoal are charcoal when burnt produces bad heat. and energy. It is also bad conductor of electricity. Charcoal do not conduct electricity. Second property of charcoal is it is highly porous substance and has low density. Since having pores in charcoal, it do not its density is very low. Third one is the physical properties of fullerenes. Fullerenes dissolve in solvent like carbon disulfide and chlorobenzene. One molecule of fullerenes contains around 30 to 900 carbon atoms. So the figures given beside diamond, fullerenes, and graphite. So these are the two properties of each of the diamond, charcoal, and fullerenes are given. Next one, complete the following chemical reaction. Now some chemical reactions are given, but some blanks are given. So we have to complete those chemical reactions. The first one is two blank, and it means the first two blanks. So the blanks are for reactant, and after reaction, the products form and the products are given. That is CO2, H2O, and heat. So what two reactants react with each other to form carbon dioxide, water, and heat? Answer is CH4 plus 2O2. CH4 plus oxygen actually gives carbon dioxide, water, and heat. When CH4 is nothing but a methane, is burned in presence of oxygen to form evolved a bluish flame. In the above reaction, the methane burns completely. So this is the blue flame. The image shown beside is the blue flame. It's seen is actually the burning of methane. So the burning of methane produces carbon dioxide, water, and heat. The second one is also the same. So the first two blanks in first question, the two blanks, first two blanks are filled as the CH4 plus 2O2. Second question is also having two blanks at the very first. The product is given as a CH3Cl plus HCl. The answer for these two blank is CH4 plus Cl2 gives CH3Cl plus HCl. Explanation methane CH4 plus explanation CH4 and chlorine Cl2 gases react with each other in the presence of UV light and form mainly methyl chloride, chloromethane CH3Cl and hydrogen chloride. This reaction is called chlorination of methane. Now third one, twice NaH plus CO2, sodium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide gives sodium carbonate plus water. When aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide is passed through carbon dioxide, it forms sodium carbonate that is Na2CO3. So these are the answers. The first two blank of question number one is filled as CH4 and O2. Second one is CH4 plus Cl2. And the third blank we have to fill as the product of NaOH plus CO2. And the answer is Na2CO3 plus water H2O. Next question. Write the answer to the following detail. What are the different types of coal? What are their uses? Answer. Now we have to list out the different types of coal. The different types of coal are peat, bituminous, anthracite, and lignite. In peat, it is generally used as fertilizer, as packing material due to its spongy nature. So peat is used as the fertilizer and it is spongy, so it can also use for the packing purpose. Second, lignite. It is used in power generation to generate electricity and is used to create fertilizer product like anhydrous ammonia and ammonium sulfate. Third one is bituminous. It is mainly used for the combustion of coke, tar, coal, chemical, and coke oven gas. It is wisely used for steam rising. Then anthracite. It is mostly used in metallurgical process and used in hand fire furnace. So these are the four types of coal. that is peat, lignite, bituminous, and anthracite is given. The images beside show as the peat is very dull, lignite is soft, bituminous is hard, and anthracite you can see it is shining. It is very hard, and their uses are listed. Next question. Write answer to the following in detail. How will you prove experimentally that graphite is good conductor of electricity? Answer. How we can prove that graphite is good conductor of electricity? So we have to perform an experiment. Take a pencil and sharp it from both sides. Now take two clips and join each with their respective leads of the pencil. Also join a small bulb in the setup and connect it with the battery cell. Assemble the apparatus properly as shown in the figure. Start the electric current in the circuit. Start the electric current in the circuit. You will observe that bulb starts to glow as soon as the current is applied. This proves that graphite is a good conductor of electricity. The figure or the image beside shows that there is a battery, wires connecting a bulb and the pencil. What we have to do, we have to sharp the pencil from both the ends so graphite can be come out from both the sides. So the two clips are attached to the two ends of the graphite. These two clips connected wire it going to attach to the two terminals of the battery, and in one of the wire there is the bulb attached in mid of it, so we can detect the glowing bulb detect actually the passage of current passing of current. So if the bulb glows it means current passes, and if the bulb not glow current will not pass. But in this experiment current the the bulb get glowed, so we can say that current pass, hence graphite can be understood as the good conductor of electricity because current pass through it, hence it is good conductor of electricity. Next question number 8. Write answer to the following in detail. Explain the properties of carbon. First, the properties of carbon are the following. Carbon exists in two allotropic forms, which are crystalline forms, and another is non-crystalline form. As these are the main two properties of carbon, that is crystalline and non-crystalline. Next question, question number 8D. Write answer to the following in detail. Classify carbon. Answer. In saturated hydrocarbons having single bond, carbon can be classified into primary carbon, secondary carbon, tertiary carbon, and quaternary carbon. The figure or the image besides it shown the two types of carbon, that is crystalline and amorphous. The crystalline is further three examples of diamond, graphite, and fullerenes, and amorphous have three examples: coal, charcoal, and carbon black. How will you verify the properties of carbon dioxide? Methods to verify the properties of carbon dioxide are: how to verify the carbon dioxide. First method, take a small lime water in the test tube, take some baking soda in another test tube, and add lemon juice to it. Feed the bent test tube over. We have to take two test tubes. In one there is a lime water and in another baking soda and lemon juice. Now as we attach the two opening ends of the test tube, what happened? Lime water and the gases form in baking soda and juice mix with each other. Insert its other end into the lime water. Observation, what you will observe. We will observe that lime water turns milky as it comes in contact with the released gas in the form of effervescence. When lime water turns milky, it is confirmed that effervescence is released of carbon dioxide. Since earlier the lime water is transparent, crystal clear, but when the gas evolved in the baking soda and juice reaction, when passes through this lime water, the lime water becomes milky or whitish in color. Therefore, we can say that the gas releases carbon dioxide. This is how we can confirm or verify the presence of or the release of carbon dioxide. Or this reaction, the uh, reaction can be written as CaOH twice it is the lime water plus CO2 is carbon dioxide. CaOH twice plus carbon dioxide gives CaCO3 calcium carbonate plus water. Here calcium carbonate is whitish in color. Therefore, we can say carbon dioxide is released. Second method, as the sodium carbonate is formed when carbon dioxide is passed through an aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide. The reaction taking place here is also here in place of lime water, we can take sodium hydroxide. When carbon dioxide passes through the sodium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide becomes sodium carbonate, Na2CO3 plus water. Sodium carbonate also shows the milky color, whitish in color. Here also in this method, we can detect the presence of or the release of carbon dioxide. Third method, sodium bicarbonate is formed on passing CO2 through an aqueous solution of sodium carbonate. The reaction taking place in place of lime water or sodium hydroxide, if we take sodium carbonate and mixed it with water and carbon dioxide, it becomes sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate also looks white. So this also confirms the presence of carbon dioxide. And in this way, we verify the presence of carbon dioxide. Hello, madam. Hello, teacher. Hello. Hello, teacher. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Over, madam.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.